Gab, I have a meeting at 1, so I don't know. Are we going to do this thing or not? I'm a very busy guy. Okay, so random things like how I have amazing legs. I don't know why I don't wear shorts more.
My name is Gabriel. In this episode of Madhouse, I have a good chat with my good friend Victor, who was a freelance stage designer and has been fortunate to work on some great shows and events from Wizkid, Pepsi, Sound City, and that list just keeps growing. Let's jump right into the madness. Enjoy.
As long as you don't make as long as you don't make my voice sound like a guy whose balls have not yet dropped or something like that. It's okay.
No, I'm Victor. Okay, cool. So, hi guys, welcome to episode 2 of the Madhouse Podcast, the Creative Asylum podcast, where we just talk to creative people and like talk about their journey, their story, and like what they're up to. And today I have Hatega Victor. Is it Virunga Design? Is that what it's called?
It's Virunga dot design, but no one seems to
See the dot.
Yeah, so I guess in my being cheap, I'm not hiring a proper designer like yourself. The logo is kind of messed up, so that
Virunga
dot
Design.
is red, but no one seems to. Let's say Virunga design. It's okay, but if you know it's Virunga dot design, because if someone type Virunga dot design,
Yeah.
it's actually a URL that would end up on the website.
It's cool. So I thought we could just like let's first start with like for those people who don't know who you are. First do like some sort of cool introduction. Hey, I'm Victor. I'm the coolest guy in the room. I have nice legs. No, yeah.
Yes, the nice legs aside, apart from having nice legs, I don't know. How can I? So, Victor, Virunga dot design, which is a one-man band for now.
He's hiring.
Yeah, okay. When we get more money, we'll hire. I'm a set designer. I do media servers, which is in terms of control of media servers, and okay, the website says I also do motion, but that's a work in progress. I've paid for the CC license, so that's a start. But that's basically what I do. The bulk of what I do now is set design and running media servers. Though I started out with lighting,
Okay.
and I'm certified in AV. So okay, that helps with the media server, running servers and stuff like that. So that's basically what I do. Nothing too remarkable actually. Just an average guy. Yeah.
Chilling, cool. So like I just think it'd be cool to tell people like how it all began. Like I mean like for most people who are listening to this podcast, like they know there's no like fancy stage design or lighting school in the area. I think it's maybe one like in South Africa maybe.
There's some that do. Yeah, you can do
Like
some
some
courses
courses,
in
yeah.
South Africa
But
that,
like the
that
rest
take
of
you
like,
through.
the place,
Oh,
other
yeah.
places, it's like you're dreaming.
Yeah, it's a big dream. So you'd either have to go to America, you'd have to go to, of course, yeah, they have the best schools, or even the UK. So for me,
Yeah.
most people who do entertainment will tell you
Yeah.
their spark, like what made them want to go entertainment.
Sure.
So for me, I used to play about with, for some reason, okay, I would say the spark would be passion. I think we're in vacation,
Yeah.
senior 6, when passion first came to UG.
Yeah.
Oh man, the stage and everything. Okay, fine, it's Kenyans who provided the stuff, but I mean the guys who are running it were his crew. It was amazing, and I was blown out. I was like, wow, that's really nice. I would really want to do that. So for me, that was the spark.
Okay.
So going into campus, I mean, we're together. So I just started playing about.
Yeah, just heads up, people. I want to go with Victor. So,
Yes, so he's biased.
Yeah, I'm biased.
Either positively or negatively.
Yeah, this is nepotism. This is like nepotism in a way. Like I invite my friends to my own podcast. Like
Yeah, that's where you start, man.
like, hey, let's just.
So I mean, we started doing. Campus Extreme was already there. I mean, it was like a fellowship thing, and guys were, it was like a mini show, a talent show, a variety show. So that sparked interest in me. Say, so Campus Extreme, I'd say is where it started.
Yeah.
First, they said, okay, I got on committee fellowship, so I could. The person was
Do we
responsible
have to
for
give people like a backstory to like what this stuff is? Maybe
really.
like Campus Extreme. They may be like, what the heck is this guy's talking
Campus
about?
Extreme, it's like a talent show. It's like a variety show that
Sure,
that
yeah.
conference that the fellowship, the Christian Union used to put on.
Yeah.
So singing, dancing, skits, and stuff like that.
That was the boss.
Yes, Gab. Apparently, yes, Gab was the boss,
As a Campus Extreme coordinator.
and
Oh.
that was an official position. That's how important the event was. They created, think of it like a minister of that event. That's how important it was. So, I mean, getting into it was thinking about how we could do something different. So, for me, it was moving from PowerPoint into worship projection systems.
True.
How do you do easy worship? How do you
Yeah.
do? So, for me, this event and having to do this event sparked going through, okay, lighting. How can we do better lighting?
Yeah.
We can't afford it,
Oh my
but
god, the DIY that happened.
oh
in
yes,
that.
it was crazy. And Pasco Kavuma, who was our master electrician, I have to say that by the way, he was amazing. Would come up with these, oh my god, DIY lights,
Dimmers
and we put, you know, these yellow bulbs. Do they still sell those things? They're
Yeah.
not there. Yellow, red. Oh, it was so basic. But that sparked interest. So I started teaching myself software, lighting software, visual software. I didn't understand the lighting software. I didn't understand lighting itself. So the period of 3 years as I was studying,
Yeah.
you know,
Studying.
doing the actual thing that took me to university, I was actually spending quite a bit of time teaching myself lighting, principles, visuals, and spending time on that. So when I left university, it was time to get a job. Like everyone should get a job. But I got a job, and I lasted maybe a year.
Yeah, it was like a
between
year.
2 jobs or a year. I couldn't stand it. It was mundane. I was a human resource officer. It was so
Factory.
boring. Oh my goodness.
Just so interesting. Like Victor, from lights to like a factory, it's like a very interesting.
No, it was. That's why I couldn't stand it. You know, you're there and you're like, my goodness, is this my life? How do people function like this? How do you wake up every day and do this? You know, I couldn't stand it. So
Yeah.
because I got a job, I quit that job, then went to work at Events Warehouse, pushing flight cases, carrying speakers, setting up rigs. And I mean, look at my size, climbing up rigs, and I was really scared because you're high up and I'm not the fittest person. But that was important for me. You know,
Yeah.
It was a journey. And throughout that time, I was doing certifications with Extron and stuff like that. So the time I went to SA,
Yeah.
I did this course, certification, control systems. That's AV stuff.
Yeah.
Now, like boardrooms.
Yeah. And
It's more corporate sort of AV stuff. The guy said, so I was like, what next? He was like, you should get a CTS. I was like, what? What's a CTS? Certified Technology Specialist. I was like, okay. So I got back home, read up on it, spent about a year and a half studying, practicing, setting it up.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I could actually now sit for the exam.
Okay.
And I passed. So that's why there are letters after my name, you know?
Yeah, Hatega Victor CTS. Nah. There's so many letters, you guys, and this is like it's annoying. I'm just like, what's going on here?
And it's really, and you know, it's not just one of those certifications where you get it and it's for life. No. It's like you're certified, but you have to renew every 3 years.
Oh, because the tech keeps changing?
Exactly. So if you don't renew, you lose your designation. It's not can't say I have SUCA. It's not like I have it. It's no. After 3 years, if you don't renew and prove that you're up to date, you lose it. And that's, I think, one of the best things about it. So for me, that's where I started. And I mean, it was doing designs, imagining things, trying to do lighting, trying
Yeah.
to get into mapping. It's been quite a journey of trying and pushing, getting a gig here and there, getting. I also did a number of competitions.
Yeah.
Not a number, like two,
Two.
but those are the, I think, electrosonic, the LD contest, which was the lighting design contest,
Yeah.
which was very important because that gave me exposure. So
Yeah.
I met a couple of people, which was very, very important
Yeah.
for me
Yeah.
because this business is about networks. It's
Yeah.
about people.
Yeah.
You might be the best, but if no one knows who you are,
or what you're doing. Yeah.
I mean, they can't call you, they can't refer you.
True.
So basically, it's through that competition that one of the guys, someone was looking for like a media server operator
Yeah.
to do a show in
Okay.
Lagos,
Mm.
and that email was sent. So they're like, no, there's this guy called Victor. He's pretty good. So, oh yeah, I really need to take Jesse to lunch or whatever. That intro really changed a lot because I went to Lagos, did like fast training, trained his guys, then yeah, because it's like the guy was testing me. It's like,
let's see how good this
yeah,
guy
like
is.
going to give you a gig just straight away.
So
It's like, okay, you come and train my people. So I think that way it's also always someone is testing your knowledge. You come and teach.
yeah.
Let's see how good you are. So someone can assess
Yeah.
if you have the stuff or not. So from there it was then operating some shows, technical support. So sometimes I would give technical support for the server. I would be here in Kampala and there's a gig in Lagos and I'm sent the specs and they say, okay, I configure maybe a file here and then I send the file to them and then I say, okay,
that's cool.
connect this to this and it works. From there, did a few gigs. Then like one day, like, we need a design for this thing. I said, okay. Did the design. They liked the design. Did the show. The show looked amazing. And it's been designs and designs and
After
designs.
that, they realized, yes, the guy to do the designs.
Exactly. So that's my journey, and I'm still on it. I'm still perfecting. I'm still studying. I'm still practicing.
Cool. So for me, like, I'm very interested in like what were like, since I'm Lex Asylum, as the Madhouse Podcast, failure is like very interesting for me because like what were like the challenges that you think you faced like during like all these scenarios? Like I mean like the transition points. Like you just share a few transition points because a lot of people kind of think like, hey, you just like wake up and like that's the direction and like go. And sometimes it's like really hard or really tricky to do.
I think the biggest challenge in having an independent business or being like a single member company or being on your own is really the mental one. That's the biggest challenge because you live your life and over time, depending on your context, you're taught your life is supposed to go a certain way.
And then
so you should stick with that job. Then maybe you get a promotion, you make more money. So it's the mental one. When you say, okay, now I'm leaving my job, I'm going to do, but you're not exactly an expert in that field. So so it's the mental one. It's also a support system. I would say my family has been very supportive. I mean, my dad, my mom, my brother, my sisters. In that, my dad told me this once, I think at some point, because they may not understand all your choices.
True,
but they will support you. And that's very important because when you know someone is in your corner, it gives you the strength to continue. So even if you're fighting these battles...
I get, like, you know...
Yeah, because you can't be fighting a battle and then someone is piling on. You understand? I know all these things. I know I should be doing this and that and that. And then someone piles on. They say, why don't you... I'm in my head. I have enough criticism for us both, So that support system has been pivotal. Like for me,
Ah.
it's very important that your family, your people you care about or who care about you support you. Because my dad told me once, I'm living a life and I am happy.
Yeah.
When I'm excited about what I do,
Yeah.
it makes no sense for me
Yeah.
to try and make you live a certain life or live a certain way.
Yeah. Yet,
Because
it's like practice what you preach,
no,
kind of thing.
because when you wake up in the morning,
Yeah.
it's you who is going to live that life.
True.
It's you who is going to experience these things.
Yeah.
I'm happy with
Yeah.
what I do and I enjoy it very much.
Yeah.
So I want the same thing for you. So
yes.
if you wake up in the morning and all you think about is lighting and stages, do that.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you go along this path. Because when you wake up every morning, you'll be drained. You won't want to do that thing. So that has been very important. It's a mental. So trust me, not everything works. Sometimes things are failing.
Yeah.
You spend 6 months. What you need to know, by the way, between that email being sent and me getting the first call, was not like 1 week.
Yeah.
It was 6 months.
So 6 months of like just sitting there, like doing that, like trying to figure out this and that, but like.
Yeah, in a sense that I don't do nothing.
Not nothing, but like some work. Like I mean, you're just here doing this and that, but like
sensible work.
Yeah, like just like there.
But what I do during those times is practice, hone the craft. But you're right. I mean, I was waiting. I was like, okay, big opportunity, but okay.
Yeah, I know. Like
you see an email being sent, and then you wait 6 months, and then that's when you get the call. So it takes time. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to stick to it. But if you stick with it, it's quite rewarding actually.
Yeah.
Eventually.
So I mean, like I guess even for people who don't really have families who support them, I guess just for finding that sort of tribal people who sort of like you can always like fall back on as you try to figure out what you're trying to do as you go. Because like I know some people, their parents are like, no. I mean, the closest people in their lives are like,
right? Yes.
Yeah, like what? You want to do what? And I think for those listening, like if it's not that case for you, I guess just find those friends or people who you think can have your back, that you can always like sort of
100% agree.
Like find some positive people who
you need a support system. I'm an introvert and I generally don't like being around people.
Yeah.
So I don't have lots of maybe I do on Facebook. Okay, those are not real friends. Some may be bots. Anyway, it's that support system like you talk about is so important. Even if someone doesn't give you like physical stuff like cash, but to know that there is someone who believes in you.
Yeah, like I mean, just someone like says, "Hey, man, what's up? How you going?" Like just that person who's just like always there. Just it doesn't have to be like, "Hey, I get what I don't know what to do," but just like
someone in your corner.
Yeah.
Some people say, "No, we don't need any." Okay, essentially, you need focus, you need what, but it helps to have that tribe you talk about, that community, and it doesn't need to be large. It can be even two people who you can bounce stuff off. But otherwise, when you get down and depressed, you may not even call those people, but you know that there are a group of people who believe, who think, you know what, you have what it takes. Otherwise, it becomes
I mean, it's like the same
harder.
thing like me and you do. Like usually, like I mean, may not see each other like for like a whole year, but at least we try like twice or once in the year to like link up, or I'll always like text you or something and like just follow up and just be like, okay.
And that's progress for us.
I mean, it's progress. But it's the same idea like for people who are, I mean, just try and find those people who are like sort of like get the plot. I mean, I didn't have no idea what the heck media server is or those things, but I'm just like, yeah, man, like, yo, what's up? Yeah. So apart from that, it's I just want to explain to people like, I mean, like that thing we talked about of like, I mean, like you did those certifications, of course, they must have cost money.
Yeah, exactly.
And and these opportunities, like I mean, doing the contest in South Africa and stuff cost a lot of money. And like, it's just I don't know how to phrase the question, but I think I kind of think in the direction I really want to take this conversation. I think about like if you have an opportunity and really want to do something so bad, I feel like don't waste any time and just like utilize the opportunity you have. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, for you are like grateful and blessed that your family could afford certain things and enable you to do certain things. And so you didn't waste time. While, I mean, the people who sort of have the opportunity and like, it's right in front of their face, but like, you're like,
Yeah, I get what you mean. I
yeah.
mean, it's that support system, like so. I mean, get this contest. I mean, it's not like my parents are billionaires or
No,
anything.
not really.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
I would have flown to America, gone to like Carnegie Mellon, Carl Arts,
Yeah.
wherever, and
Yeah.
studied these things.
True.
But within the realms of possibility,
Yeah.
within the realms of, okay, you want to do this thing.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
Yeah.
Okay, we can try and look for the money and help you along
Yeah.
as you're going along this journey.
True.
And it's true. And if you do have the opportunity to, I mean, you have access to these things,
Yeah.
then do them. I mean, use the opportunity. Don't waste it. If you can convince your parents or your tribe to support you do something,
Yeah.
do it. If there's a contest, I mean, you don't need to. But you don't need to even fly anywhere. You don't need to go anywhere.
True. For some of the
Because,
things, yeah.
a lot of creatives say, I don't. I'm like, but listen, you're in a field where you don't even need to get on a plane.
Yeah, you can
You
walk
just
from your
need to
home,
be
have an interconnect connection.
Exactly. You just need and you need skills.
Yeah.
That's all you need. I mean, I've done jobs in Lagos. Where is the content coming from? The content is coming from South Africa. The content is coming from Portugal.
Yeah.
So
and those people never step even in Lagos.
They don't.
Yeah.
But they are creating content for these events and they're getting paid.
True.
So the idea, if you have an opportunity, use it. But you shouldn't also handicap yourself. You need to be creative, especially creative arts, because some of them are intangible in the sense that they're digital. There's no physicality to them.
True. Yeah.
What makes my stuff a bit different is there's some physicality to it. So I need to be at some point present for the particular event.
Yeah,
but if you're making content, you don't need to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sit down, make the content, and pump it out.
Yeah.
If you know, like let's say if you know, okay, Victor does set designs, but he also works with media servers, which means he handles the content that goes on all these screens for concerts.
True.
I know him. How good am I at making content?
Yeah.
I could ask him, what are your networks? Because, I mean, when I say motion, I would like to make content, but there's not enough time for that. You know, you find if you're going to be good at set design and then be good at running servers,
the time to to sit down and start designing like motion graphics for.
Yeah, I can make content, but the way things are, I can't be as good as you.
Yeah.
I can't be as good as Adma. I can't be as good as any of those people because
it's tricky.
It's not my focus.
Yeah.
And I would much rather perfect this area and then have someone come alongside.
True. Cool. So I mean, like, this podcast is about to end.
Is it? Oh no, could talk for ages.
Yeah.
Guys already tired of my voice. Like, ugh.
Like Victor, we're tired. Like, let's move on. Anyway, I thought like you could share like lessons, like life lessons learned during like this whole thing, like the big life lessons. I mean, like 3 maybe that you think like in the whole hustle from like when we went campus all the way to like now, all the things that you think.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
The gray hair has increased.
Yeah. I mean like 10, coming to 12 years now. So
it's I don't know. I would say the bulk of the life lessons I'll share at Creative Asylum. So show up for that. But one I can say is really it's patience. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the patience. You'll have to wait. Sometimes you wait 6 months, sometimes you wait a year. Sometimes you'll be like, what the hell am I doing? I made a mistake. Should I go to my old boss and kneel down and say, I'm sorry, kiss his feet and say, take me back or something? But what I've learned is it's patience. You just stick with it and you do the work. Because and the thing is, as you're being patient, as
Yeah.
you're waiting,
True.
you must use that time to hone your craft.
Yeah.
Because when someone comes knocking on your door,
Better be able to do the job well.
you better be able to execute,
Yeah.
and you better be able to execute at a certain level.
Yeah.
So there'll be, we can sit down, complain, and wallow and say, things suck, things are slow. But what are you doing? Someone will come and say, okay, I need this. And when it's time for you to produce, you do it, but you're not good enough. So
It's like that thing, like people
Yeah.
like waste so much time like chilling when they have nothing going on,
Exactly.
and then when the job comes, then they are fidgeting so much to learn how to do something like that they have asked them to do, and then like people wonder why there are delays or the work is not as good.
that downtime it's actually not downtime. It's time for you to learn something new,
Yeah.
harness your craft, produce work,
Yeah.
produce the kind of stuff you'd want to do.
Yeah.
So if you want to do more work with interaction, do more personal projects involving interaction. If it's sensors, whatever it is,
Yeah.
do that.
Sure.
So that when the job comes up,
Yeah.
use that time to pick up a new skill, you're constantly refining yourself, so to say.
I get. Cool. Thank you so much, Victor, for your time.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Cool. Peace. We are out.